What is up, everyone? This will be my Briar jungle video, and I'm going to show you guys a build that I think it's really easy to use for you to climb with in solo queue. And I'm just going to go over everything you need to know on how to play Briar and climb with this very strong jungler. Briar has a new skin coming out soon, and Briar jungle right now, I personally think press attack is by far the best rune. Second page, you can do a bit different things. You can go free boots, or you can go into domination, which I like either sudden impact, eyeball collection, or just relentless hunter. And also, I really like cut down right now. You can either go cut down, coop, or last stand. I like cut down because cut down is OP. For clears, always start W level 1. Ward if you think someone might invade you. Start top side and path down ideally. Solo Raptors is by far the best. You always want to kind of play for a full clear level 4 on Briar. So here I'm just going to right click once and then just kind of stack them up so my W is hitting them all with the AoE effect. So make sure you W activation to not miss the timer. The second part of your W is really important, so try not to miss that timer. Also, when your bleed effect is ticking, you have a lot of damage. As you can see, it will always do around, like the 100 damage point. Just make sure you don't reset it, which is really, really bad for you if you reset it. Here, we're going to smite the Krug and go W. Right click one more time, and we're going to use our E after just to clear these pesky little baby Krugs out. And for my pathing early game, ball lane is really important on Briar. You just really want to kind of, not on Briar, but in jungle right now, it's all about full clearing and just playing for, bot lane ganks or just playing for objectives. And this game, Nunu is able to kind of gank bot first, whatever. Let's just make sure we understand his pathing, right? So he dies, that's good for us. So we can always play around that kind of window, which is good. So if he shows on that gank timer, I mean, this classic Nunu level 2 gank, we can count as CS, right? So he has 8. So 8, what it means when they have 8 means they did 2 camps, right? Every camp is worth, 4 CS when you're jungling. So since I did 3, I have 12. So 8 means he did 2 camps. So what he did was most likely red Raptors or red Krugs for the level 2 gank. So in my head, I know these 2 camps most likely are gone. So he most likely, unless he's really mad and he tries to spam gank bot again, he is most likely going to go top side because he has all this jungle up and ready to farm. So that's kind of my mindset when I'm jungling. You don't have to be like reading the numbers, but if you really want to get better, just think, now 4 plus 4 plus 4, that's 12. Just keep counting 4. You can kind of see it eventually adds up. After a full clear, you get 24. And if you get 1 crab, you get 28. And that's a full crab clear. So just some nice little information for you to really remember. Also, now we're level 4. This is where we actually can start to do things. But like I talked about, I really just think you should be playing for, jungling. And just play for farm and play for ganks that are easy and not too hard. Because if you play for a hard gank and it hurts you, then that's no bueno. So here, ball lane uses a lot of summers most likely. So I know ball lane wants to crash this wave, right? So if they want to crash this wave, what we can do is set up for a very nice and easy gank. Because their sums are down, I'm going to try. Oh, they actually all have flashes. Okay, interesting. That was my little insect, my little Briar E insect. But since they all have sums, something we can't really punish. But what you can punish is if they overextend. Remember, if my E is down, we don't really want to go for anything. E is really important for us. Here my W, Q, one shot. And, I might as well just help them push the wave, right? And now I'm going to look for a base, right? Because if we solo Raptors, if you're generally playing against a better jungler, they know you are bot side on Briar. Since I showed on the map, this Raptor, these jungle camps should be gone. So I can just assume, that those camps are most likely gone. And the build I want to show you is actually going to be the Titanic build. So there's a few ways to build Titanic. You can go, you can go into Eclipse, into Titanic, or you can go Blade into Titanic, or you can just go straight Titanic. And I think straight Titanic is a really safe way to go. It gives you really tanky early game stats. It's a bit expensive, but if you have enough for the Tiamat buy, you can buy the Tiamat. Here, my jungle camps looks like they're up. You always want to W early for the extra movement speed, and then Q when you're playing Briar jungle, just simple combos. And at the end, use your E to help clear the jungle. It's really important for you to have ability haste on this champion. So we're always aiming for a certain benchmark of ability haste. Generally, you want your build to eventually have around 40 ability haste so you can get the most out of this champion. Now, after Titanic, there's a few options you can go into. You can either go into Eclipse if you want, like a cheap item spike, or you can go into Cleaver. A very standard build would be like, Eclipse, Titanic, Cleaver, or, Titanic, Cleaver into like Sunder's Sky. This game, I'm going to show you guys a really simple and just easy build, which is Titanic into Cleaver. It's very common right now, which gives you a lot of tanky stats, which is weaker early, I will say. You may struggle a bit, but if you farm and show like play the way I'm showing you how to play, really about the full clear, about the timers that are good for you, and just where the farm is, right? If you play really around where the farm is, where the ganks are really easy, you're gonna do really well as Briar. That's something I want people to really focus on in this jungle meta. Really play for the full clear gank. Just in your mind, I want you to just be thinking full clear gank is good. So here again, the wave, they need to crash this big wave in, right? So what should we be doing? Should be ganking them. So here I'm gonna actually gank and go for the Nunu kill here. And we know that Xerath here. Oh, he got me. He got me. And we're gonna just W forward here and just finish him off. So your press attack, you always want to save your W for the press attack, unless they're about to get one shot. Then you want to use it afterwards. So just little things you should remember. Here, the void grubs are up, but like you should never really hurt yourself for the grubs. And that's Clydar. You shouldn't murder, like ruin your game over Krugs or void grubs. Since I'm already bot side and Dragon is here and I have an okay buy, you might as well just play towards the lane that's already winning. Like if balling is winning really hard, you don't need to go anywhere. Like just stay bot side, get dragons and stack dragons. You don't have to be like going hard top side. Like a good win condition is when your bot lane is stomping like this, just stay bot side, keep winning bot lane. It's great, right? Maybe you can still get void grubs, but if you don't get void grubs, don't sweat it. Don't worry, realistically. So here I have unfortunately I don't have a tier 1 boots buy. Usually I would like my base to have, you know, like boots by now. I could go for a blind R like this, but like realistically I don't have vision. I honestly do have no idea if he's on this one or this one, so don't waste your R on something you don't have any idea. Briar R is really strong as a counter tool. And what I mean by counter tool is it's really OP when you use it when they're already ganking, right? Like if someone is all-inning, then like if Volibear is all-inning, then it makes it easy to hit the R. And you really want to use it when it's easy to hit, not when it's hard. And when you are, they can all hear you channeling it. So if there's a fight happening, they're more likely to like ignore the channel. And so Tiamat is really good with Briar because you can combo it with your Q in the combo, or you can use it after you land. So it's a few ways to kind of get the most out of the Tiamat. Remember, your W range is really far. So if I'm going to the next camp, I want to W when I'm close to it, and then it'll just lock in, right? So it just movement speed on the W is really important. And that's kind of what you play for. So here, Titanic is 950. This guy is basing. I could R, but it's not a really guarantee to hit. So if I'm going to cast it, I want to really make sure it hits. But I want to see. So now I think this will hit. So this is a good angle. It did hit, but not the guy I was thinking about hitting. I'm going to use the W here. I'm going to E in advance here. Try to get the damage off. It did hit, but not the guy I thought it was going to hit. Overall, really good gank, really good counter gank. We played that really well around our damage. This game is obviously a stomp. It doesn't matter if it's a stomp or, you know, a close game. You should always play the same realistically. You should always have the same emphasis, the same dedication to camps and farm. Like your jungle, like your goal is to have high impact with high CS, right? So that's a hard thing to have. And that's your goal on not just Briar, but like on every jungler. And the way you do that is you play efficiently and you play around your farm, and you only gank when, you know, like if you gank and it's a failed gank and you still have jungle to farm, that's extremely bad for you. But if you full clear and then gank and it fails, it really isn't that bad for you. So just have that mindset about how that all works. And I think a really safe build is Titanic first into, you know, like a cleaver. I think it's a really simple build for you to use, and you can always use the activation. You always, you know, your Titanic is an auto attack reset, so it scales really well with press attack. But generally, the way I use it is W, auto attack, Q, auto, press attack, or Titanic into W. Just really fast combos that you want to utilize. This game, I think the enemy balling is obviously super easy to kill, so I'm not gonna overplay anything. I think they're okay. Like, I think balling is safe. So I'm gonna just focus on myself, right? I think the game is pretty much in the bag right now. So when the game's like super free, just play for the objectives and farm and wait for them to mess up, right? Like wait for the enemy team to really do something stupid. And then you're there to kind of capitalize, right? Like I'm here to capitalize with an R play. You know, I'm just really here to take advantage of them when they misplay and just be ready for the objectives. I think a lot of people throw games like this because, well, they just try too much, right, when they're ahead. You don't have to be the one forcing really hard plays when you're ahead. You just have to play slow, keep farming, play for the, void grubs in 25, play for the dragon after that. And if they try to fight you on these objectives, which they usually will, you get a really good fight. And that's how, that's how I want to kind of like choke them in the advantage situation. So here I'm going to ward here. Okay, he's over there. I think Nunu was in the area, right? So I'm pretty confident. I know Nunu was in this area. He might want these grubs. So let me go see. Okay, he's mid. Since the team is fighting there, I think I don't really want to commit to a fight so close to mid tower. I think that's not good for me. My mind is just on the grubs. So I'm just going to focus on the grubs. And if the fight comes to me in this area, I really think it's good for me. I think it's a good position for me to fight there. So I'm going to play around that. And if there is no fight, like there, I think you guys would have probably R'd that situation, right? But that's not how you should be looking in that situation. You got to look for, wait, just get the objective, get the good income, get the farm, and wait for a fight that's much easier for you. One that's like away from towers. Towers are really bad. If I R hit there, easily they run here, and then I pretty much wasted my ulti, right? So that's not a good play. Here I'm so ahead, we're all so ahead. This is where we just start the dragon. After this dragon, this is where you're gonna see me get more aggressive. And a big reason why I get more aggressive in that situation is because I have a ping, so I can deny that. See, because there's a champion nearby, once I Q it, it pretty much focuses exactly the way I showed you. I'm gonna W forward here. I have Q, so I'm gonna Q, auto attack. I still have my W. I still have a lot of abilities. Still have my R as well. So I'm going to R here because I think it's a good angle now. Press attack E to break the tower range. And we get out of the range there. Beautifully done. And now we're going to base. Honestly, it's been a while. Like, I should have had boots for a long time. I should have bought my boots earlier. I've been testing out sudden impact. I really don't like it all that much. I like eyeball collection more, in my opinion. Doesn't really feel like it gives you that much damage. So here, obviously, this is the Merc game, right? Like, we need MR boots. It's insane how much value I'm going to get from MR boots. And then once you go MR boots here, your goal is to kind of go into Cleaver, Sunder Sky, DD for armor item, really OP. And your last item is like Sterix, or if you really need MR, you can go into like, like a Spear Visage if it's good. Or you can go into like a Maw as well. Those are generally your MR items. So that's like the full build. Here, once you have these kind of, like, once I'm at this point of the game, I'm like, not that much ability haste, but the Cleaver is going to give me that extra ability haste that I would generally want a lot more. And the press attack, we haven't really got that much value, but it's going to kick in really hard when we start to get into team fights, and that's what really is important. It's all about you living in team fights. You have to live. Just being tankier is always ideal. It's really good for you. And just keep playing around objectives. What's the next objective? Herald. I could stay in this area, play for Herald, but I think it's so free that I can avoid it. But generally, I would be in this area playing for Herald, playing for the fight, especially because I'm strong. That would be like my goal. We did throw a fight there. So what I'm going to do is actually, if you don't want to play for the objective, sometimes what happens is actually this AD carry thinks, okay, everyone's going to play for the Herald. So I'm going to do something. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stay and take the bot tower. AD carries really simple minds like this. They don't really understand the map at all. So you always end up seeing them do what I pretty much just said. What you want to do is just surprise them here and just kill them, right? Like, don't let them do what they want to do. And really, you just, like, just ruin their day, really. Just ruin their day. AD carries don't really deserve any love. The class that needs to be killed, always. This is a very sequence play that I do a lot of times. It's when the bot tower dies, you mid and bot swaps mid. You're going to see it happen quite often. And AD carry wants to crash that wave. He wants to get this tower. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Here, I'm going to finish the Titanic. Remember, the comboing is really important. Your W is auto attack reset. Titanic is an auto attack reset. And your Q is an auto attack reset. So a lot of things you can wait for. You just have to wait for your champion to attack and then cast the, like the Q. For example, if there's a camp here, let me show you again. Very simple, just like that. W, Q, auto attack, Titanic, W activation into, the E. Very simple mechanics, very simple play. Very effective, right? Here I'm getting close to my cleaver, so I do want to get for that. I do want to go for that. I'm gonna always get the extra spawn of the buff. The buff will always spawn one for the jungler and one for whoever kills it. Or if I kill it, it will always spawn one for whoever is nearby to take it. Try to always last hit Shelly too, because when you last hit, you get bonus gold. And you actually get bonus experience, so it's quite important for you to last hit it. Always last hit with Smite. Here, W, Q, auto press attack, W. And a lot of it's always having that E ready, like once you do your first initial combo, you always want to kind of get ready to cast E to reset the fight, really. But a lot of time in team fights, it's not really going to be me using... It's going to be like me using my R to get in. So here I really just want my cleaver and then I'm going to base. Was I zoomed in for a long time? I hope not. The one's a bit awkward. And here you can base. Remember, your bleed is always some sort of tick damage going off. And whenever you get the Herald, the Rift Herald, Shelly, don't rush use it. It's really good to just save it. You don't have to be like using it right away. You can like easily just save up for it and it's not that bad. I think they are not really... I'm not sure if any team has any juice left. It's maybe their final hurrah. Here I'm gonna W forward, do the dragon, and yeah, honestly just probably play for some crazy pushes here. You always W over walls. If there's a target over the wall in the radius of your effect, your spell effect, then it will target that person, but you can always break it with your E. So W a hop over walls, very easy, very simple. I'm gonna take Shelly for a ride. This is where I'm probably gonna dive the Xerath. I'm gonna hit him first, and then... Okay, maybe I drifted a bit too hard. I was hoping to hit the tower there by... A bit of a drift problem. I'm gonna have to check my wheels, my Shelly's wheels on that one. I didn't really mean to crash it that hard. But it's all good. It's all good. Game is still going extremely well. Dragon stacking. Play for the dragon. Play for Baron in 1 minute. But yeah, what I'm really teaching you is when you're ahead, really suffocate them. Like, don't give them opportunities. Don't take bad fights. Really just control yourself. Play heavy around your farm. Like, look at my CS, right? Like, it's extremely well done. Good KP. And it's always just prioritize a bit of farm and like at least clear one side of jungle and then go for like a play and then clear the other side. Those are the rules you have to incorporate. Or just clear all your jungle and then go for a play. You have to do one of the other. Those are your sort of plays that you have to kind of play for. And I could do cross-map R plays, but the problem with cross-map plays is always the same problem. Once you R, they can hear your ulti going off, so I don't really necessarily want to kind of create that noise effect. Also, I can just split push if I ever want to split push. Split pushing is very strong on Briar. Something I'm just going to incorporate here. I could go for a cross map R here, but I'm not really in the need for that. I'm gonna R now because Xerath is kind of like R'ing in a position. Hard to hit though, hard to hit. A lot of things going on. But you know what this tower does give me? Look, wait for it. This tower gives you 700 gold. 700 gold from killing that one tower. Like, if you kill this tower, if you want to snowball, you want to win, you gotta kill this tower. Oh geez, I'm gonna eat in advance if crowd control about to hit me. Damn. The barrier, I almost actually killed her too. It's going to take a bit more healing for us to kill. A big thing is hitting the R, right? The R, when you hit it, it gives you 44 armor right now and MR, 15% lifesteal and movement speed. So it's pretty important to hit the R if you want to go for those crazy kind of angles. You can go into Syrinx too if you want more tankiness, but I do want the Sunder Sky this game. Oh, Dragon 1 minute. I might just go down mid here and see what's going on. We were playing extremely safe. We don't have to play extremely safe. But it is the video. The idea of this video was to teach you how to play really, you know, smart when you sort of get a good advantage early game. But I'm feeling a little spicy. I'm just gonna R this. My cooldown is getting really low. So we're already at 25. I'm gonna join the party and see what's going on here. What's cooking here? Oh my god, that angle though. That angle's nasty. Oh my god, that angle. The toes. You love to see it. You really do love to see it. As that big thing there was, you know, like I did my Q, my W. And once that was all done, what did I do after that? I pretty much used my E, and that's generally how you want to survive in situations like that. But I hope you guys liked the Briar video. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. Good luck in the games. Good luck on the climb. We'll see you guys next time. And yeah. Bye-bye.